Good evening. Here are tonight's top stories. The government pledges support for the families affected by the tragic drowning incident in Masara village. Additionally, a firearm and ammunition were discovered following a police operation in Vredenhoop. A domestic dispute has left an overseas-based Guyanese hospitalized, sparking concerns. Furthermore, the family of a deceased GDF sergeant raises issues regarding safety protocols. In legal matters, a fisherman pleads guilty to firearm and ammunition charges. Police are investigating a suspected boat mishap leading to the death of Ivan Braithwaite. On a positive note, 167 families in Amelia's Ward Phase 4, Linden, receive ownership documents. Lastly, 2 men are charged with stealing a $7 million safe from Dalip Trading Enterprise. Stay tuned for further updates. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more news updates.
Government pledges support for families of drowned girls in Masara village tragedy. The Guyanese government has extended its deepest condolences and pledged comprehensive support to the families affected by the tragic drowning of 3 young girls in Masara village, North Rupununi, Region 9. Minister of Public Works, Bishop Wanage Hill, conveyed the government's profound sadness during interactions with the bereaved families on Wednesday. Minister H. Hill, accompanied by officials, met with the parents and siblings of 5-year-old Michelle Jeffries, 9-year-old Alicia Dorick, and their 6-year-old cousin, Mia Jeffries. Following discussions with the families and the village Tasheo Lenny Moses, it was agreed that the government would provide counseling and any other necessary support to help them navigate through this incredibly difficult period. In addition to counseling services, the Regional Democratic Council, RDC, is coordinating the burial arrangements for the children, extending tangible assistance to alleviate the family's burdens during this time of mourning. Minister H. Hill emphasized the importance of unity and solidarity during times of tragedy, urging citizens across the country to join in prayer for the grieving families. The government's commitment to providing holistic support underscores its dedication to assisting those affected by this heartbreaking incident. Firearm ammunition found after police operation in Vredenhoop. In the early hours of the morning, a police operation in Vredenhoop, West Coast Demerara, resulted in the discovery of a firearm and ammunition in a vehicle. Acting on received information, police officers trailed a Toyota Allian car to Crane Old Road, where they conducted a search. The driver, identified as Samuel McIntyre, a 32-year-old resident of Bagotville, West Bank Demerara, voluntarily agreed to the search. During the inspection of the vehicle, police discovered a 9mm Taurus pistol along with a magazine containing 8 live rounds of ammunition. McIntyre was promptly informed of the allegations against him and was arrested on the scene. He, along with the firearm and ammunition, was escorted to the Vredenhoop police station for further processing. The swift action by law enforcement underscores their commitment to ensuring public safety and preventing illegal firearms from circulating within communities. Investigations into the matter are ongoing as authorities seek to determine the origin and intended use of the seized firearm and ammunition. Domestic dispute leaves overseas-based Guyanese hospitalized. Diamity Rampersad, an overseas-based Guyanese residing in Highbury Village, East Bank Burbis, finds herself hospitalized at the New Amsterdam Hospital after a violent altercation with her reputed husband. The incident, which occurred during a heated argument over a phone conversation with a male friend, resulted in Rampersad sustaining multiple chop wounds inflicted by her husband. According to reports, the 56-year-old Rampersad and her 44-year-old reputed husband were embroiled in a dispute on Wednesday evening, during which Rampersad allegedly threatened to evict him from their residence. Enraged by the threat, the husband armed himself with a cutlass and proceeded to inflict several chops on Rampersad's body. Following the assault, he transported her to the New Amsterdam Regional Hospital, where she was admitted as a patient. Rampersad's condition is currently listed as serious but stable as she receives medical treatment for her injuries. It is reported that trust issues have been a recurring problem in the couple's relationship. Meanwhile, the suspect has been apprehended by authorities and is cooperating with ongoing investigations into the incident. The altercation serves as a grim reminder of the pervasive issue of domestic violence and underscores the need for greater awareness and support for victims of such abuse. Family of deceased GDF sergeant raises concerns over lack of safety protocols. The family of Guyana Defense Force, GDF, Sergeant Deslyn Nicholson is seeking answers following her tragic death in a fatal accident along the Linden/Sosdike Highway during a military walk on Wednesday night. Questions have been raised regarding the absence of necessary safety mechanisms and protocols during the walk, prompting concerns over negligence on the part of the organizers and the Army. Nicholson's cousin, Juanetta Nicholson, expressed dismay over the reported lack of safety measures during the annual 30 km walk, which commenced from Red Ground, Timeri to Camp Stevenson. Among the concerns raised were whether the ranks participating in the walk were equipped with reflective vests or escorted by police or military vehicles to ensure visibility and safety on the dark highway. The accident occurred around 21:00 HRS near the Splashman's Fun Park, where Nicholson and two colleagues, Staff Sergeant Kwame Reed and Lance Corporal Kelly Jackson, were struck by a truck. It was later revealed by the Guyana Police Force that none of the soldiers were wearing reflective vests, nor were there any visible safety indicators to alert motorists of the ongoing walk. Juanetta Nicholson emphasized the family's belief that negligence played a significant role in the accident, citing the dark conditions of the highway and the lack of visibility due to the soldiers' dark-colored clothing. The truck driver, a resident of Golden Grove, East Bank Demerara, reportedly claimed he did not see the soldiers until it was too late. According to police reports, the driver attempted to avoid colliding with the soldiers but was unsuccessful due to the short distance. Nicholson was pronounced dead upon arrival at the Diamond Diagnostic Center, while the other two soldiers were treated and discharged. The driver underwent a breathalyzer test, which returned negative for alcohol. In response to the incident, the GDF announced that a board of inquiry will be conducted in accordance with its standard operating procedures. Meanwhile, the family continues to seek answers and justice for Sergeant Deslyn Nicholson, whose tragic death has sparked concerns over safety protocols during military activities on public roads. Fisherman pleads guilty to firearm and ammunition charges. Govindra Swambir, a 38-year-old fisherman from Wim Quarantine, Burbis, found himself in legal trouble after being arrested and charged with possession of a firearm without a license and unlawful possession of ammunition without a license. The arrest occurred on March 27, and Swambir was brought before Magistrate Rabindranath Singh at the Wim Magistrates Court on Thursday to face the charges. Upon hearing the charges read to him, Swambir pleaded guilty. Following his guilty plea, Swambir was sentenced to 15 months imprisonment for each of the charges. The charges stemmed from Swambir's possession of two single-barrel 12-gauge shotguns, lacking serial numbers, along with 5 cartridges. The case underscores the seriousness with which firearm-related offenses are treated by the legal system, highlighting the consequences individuals may face for illegal possession of firearms and ammunition. Police investigate suspected boat mishap resulting in death of Ivan Braithwaite. Police are currently investigating a suspected boat mishap that tragically resulted in the death of Ivan Braithwaite in Kabakaburi, Upper Pomeroon River. The incident occurred on Thursday between 16:30 and 18:30 hours. According to reports from police headquarters, Braithwaite had left home in his canoe to purchase some items from a nearby shop. However, he failed to return, and his canoe was later discovered drifting in the river with the purchased items inside. Concerned by his absence, a report was made at the Charity Police Station, prompting a search operation. Despite efforts to locate Braithwaite, the search proved unsuccessful. Tragically, at around 6 o'clock HRS on Friday, Braithwaite's body was discovered floating face down in the Kabakaburi Upper Pomeroon River by his son-in-law, Paul Rodriguez, a 48-year-old farmer. Upon examination, no signs of violence were observed on the body. The body was then escorted to the Charity Hospital, where Dr. Maish pronounced Braithwaite dead on arrival. Currently, Braithwaite's remains are held at the Charity Hospital's mortuary, awaiting a post-mortem examination to determine the exact cause of death. Authorities continue their investigation into the circumstances surrounding the suspected boat mishap, aiming to provide answers and closure to Braithwaite's grieving family and loved ones. "167 families in Amelia's Ward Phase 4, Linden, receive ownership documents." In a significant development for residents of Amelia's Ward Phase 4, Linden, Region 10, 167 families have signed their agreements of sale for the processing of their certificates of title. This milestone follows a commitment made by Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodriguez, during an outreach to the area in 2021. The distribution exercise took place at Linden Foundation Secondary School, Linden, on Wednesday, where beneficiaries were handed their ownership documents. This initiative marks a crucial step forward for the community, with 424 house lots earmarked for allocation in the area. Expressing their excitement and gratitude, residents highlighted the newfound opportunities that come with land ownership. Wilma Piggott, a beneficiary who has been living in Amelia's ward for 5 years, expressed relief at no longer having to rent, stating, "Getting my own land will help me a lot." Similarly, Chisara James, who had been squatting in the area for over 3 years, expressed her joy at becoming a landowner, emphasizing the significance of having property in her name. Encouraging others to follow suit and apply for their lands legally, James stated, "Being a landowner means a lot because it is your name to something." The sentiment was echoed by 22-year-old beneficiary Vandy Van Leeuwen, who expressed happiness at finally owning the land he has occupied since 2019. Minister Rodriguez emphasized that land ownership provides financial independence and access to further opportunities. She highlighted the government's commitment to sustainable housing schemes, ensuring the necessary infrastructure and amenities are in place for thriving communities. Addressing concerns about squatting, Minister Rodriguez reassured residents that new squatting areas would not be regularized. Instead, the government is actively working to address the issue comprehensively, including acquiring lands for regularization in various communities. Region 10 has seen substantial investments in housing and infrastructure, with millions allocated for road upgrades, house construction, and new housing areas. Minister Rodriguez and her team conducted inspections of housing areas in Plantation York and Fitzhope, underscoring the government's commitment to providing affordable and sustainable housing solutions. The distribution of ownership documents represents a significant step towards empowering residents and fostering sustainable development in Amelia's Ward Phase 4 and beyond. Two men charged with stealing $7 million safe from Duleep Trading Enterprise. Two men, Kian Simon, aged 30, and Ryan Kahn, aged 63, appeared before Principal Magistrate Faith McGusty on Thursday to answer to charges of break-and-enter and larceny. The charge stemmed from an alleged incident where the duo reportedly broke into Duleep Trading Enterprise and stole a safe containing $7 million, along with receipts and checks. Simon, a port knocker from Charlestown, Georgetown, and Kahn, a fisherman from Albuistown, Georgetown, both pleaded not guilty during their first court appearance at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. The alleged incident took place on March 25, 2024, at Lot 1114, Broad and Lombard Street, Charlestown. According to reports, on the aforementioned date between 4 a.m. and 5:30 a.m., a security guard noticed sounds emanating from the hardware store. Upon investigation, he purportedly observed 4 men exiting the building with the safe. Due to being unarmed, the security guard did not intervene or pursue the individuals. Subsequent investigations revealed that the building, which houses multiple offices, is secured by internal locks and reinforced by iron grills. Despite no signs of forced entry, the metal door to the cashier's office, where the safe was located, was found pried open. Detectives are currently reviewing CCTV footage obtained from the scene. During the court proceedings, Kahn was represented by attorney-at-law Patrice Henry, who contested the allegations against his client. Henry argued that there was no concrete evidence linking Kahn to the crime, other than an oral statement from the co-accused, Simon. Simon, who appeared without legal representation, requested bail, which was objected to by the prosecution, citing the gravity of the offense and Simon's prior appearances in court for similar offenses. The prosecution also disclosed that Simon had confessed during a video interview, implicating Kahn in the crime. After hearing arguments from both sides, Magistrate McGusty remanded Simon and granted bail to Khan in the sum of $300,000, with reporting conditions requiring him to report to the Ruimveldt police station on the first and third Fridays of each month until the conclusion of the case. The case is scheduled to resume on April 16, 2024.